this wonderful group, we'll go ahead and get started because we promised a brief, happy, fun celebration, and we keep our promises with Walk a Mile. So wanted to just go ahead and say hello and welcome you to the virtual celebration. We're very, very excited that all of you were able to join us. We are also very excited that we were able to have Walk a Mile this year, of course, and welcome to the folks who are just joining in. I will, if I kind of stop talking in the middle, it means that someone else has joined us, and I just want to say hello. So welcome, welcome. I'm Whitney. I'm the little small box on your screen right now, but I just wanted to say we're just incredibly grateful that you've joined us tonight. I'm the Director of Development here at Family Services, and I'm just very, very happy that you all have joined us this evening. It warms my heart to see you again and know that you're well. And it has been quite a year, wouldn't you agree? And home is safe for many, but we know that during the pandemic, home is not safe for everyone, and victims of domestic violence have been home with the very people who hurt them. And while remaining at home has decreased the spread of COVID, of course, it has increased the isolation for many of our survivors. So for us this year, our motto for Walk a Mile was, sexual assault and domestic violence do not stop during a pandemic, and neither do we. So thank you so much for joining our Walk a Mile efforts this year. It was the most critical time. For me, I know it's really hard to believe that this year was our 10th anniversary for Walk a Mile. It's amazing, 10 years. And what a decade it's been. Every year we see the impact of Walk a Mile grow. More teams are coming together, more families are walking in solidarity, more walkers are sharing why they walk, and more survivors are sharing their stories. And even in a really odd and challenging year, the mission of Walk a Mile remains strong, and it's because of people like you who are in the celebration, and all of our teams and participants who came out and walked not only last Saturday, but who have done their own virtual walks over the past couple weeks. So thank you for that and for all of your support. And at this time, I want to turn my virtual mic over to our CEO, Brian Doyle, who just wants to share his celebration with us all tonight. So Brian, the virtual mic is yours. And did we lose Brian? Well, we might have lost Brian.
Okay, thank you. Just let me see if I'm being out with the stability. Well, I'm here, but unfortunately, my internet connection is a little bit unstable, but I'll try and go at it. So thanks to everybody. I really want to thank Whitney for leading the effort on this. This has been quite an up and down year for all the planning for not only Walk a Mile, but all sorts of events. And it's been really tough. And I know the committee has been behind Whitney all along with Pat, of course, and Kate and Carolyn. So thank you to all of you. And I also want to say thank you on behalf of the board. I know Maria DeWald is going to try and be on the call. I'm not sure if she's going to make it, but she was there at the Walk a Mile. Jamie and Dodick was there, and we really appreciate the support of the board. And believe me, they really appreciate the support that is provided by this committee and everybody who participated in Walk a Mile. It was a beautiful day, as Whitney said. There's no doubt about it. It was gorgeous, just as today is. And I think what was most heartening to me was the great spirit that people had, despite of all the setbacks over the year, despite the fact that COVID has hit so hard, this whole community, the whole nation, and the world for that matter. And yet, as Whitney said, we keep going. And it's been terrific how this has not only been salvaged as an event, but it really did beautifully. And we appreciate all of the monetary support as well, as in addition to the spirit, the fabulous sponsors. There were so many, 40 Ken and Adam Fairacre, I'm not going to go through them all, but look at them all. That came through once again for us. And the business community is really so critical to our events as well. So thanks to the business community. And, you know, I said thanks to the committee. I'll say once again, as I did the morning of the event, special great thanks to Mike Davis and Corey for chairing this event once again. You know, it sounds a little hackneyed, but it is so important for us, for me, to say it again, and that is, you know, sexual assault and domestic violence are often viewed as, well,
anything you want. Why this?
it's a men's problem.
Out on your own.
And it's up to men to really lead the way in completely. So I want to thank everyone, the sponsors, the very enthusiastic participants, and I'm going to turn it over now so that Whitney can pick it up from here. But many thanks, really appreciate it. These are funds that are sorely needed by the agency to fill the hole and to promote the services that we love so much.
Brian, that was so kind. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and your thanks. And I agree, this is a team effort. And so while I appreciate the thanks, Walk a Mile doesn't happen without a lot of people stepping in and walking with us. And so that is, of course, a wonderful development and marketing team here at Family Services, but the Walk a Mile committee in general. Mike Davis, I want to make sure, Mike, that you're not on.
I'm on.
You're
Hey,
on.
Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Oh, you.
Who's the skinny
Hey,
guy
hey.
in that slide?
One handsome guy. I don't know. Who's paying me for that picture? I usually get paid for those pictures.
Listen, no, it looks awesome, and true Walk a Mile spirit, Mike. And that's one of the great things about our co-chairs, you know, is Mike and Corey, they are all in with Walk a Mile. And if you were there on Saturday, you saw the spirit that they have in their shoes. And of course, Brian shows that same spirit. But Mike, really just thank you so much. And I want to give you the virtual mic for just a second so that you can, you know, share your thoughts on Walk a Mile and just greet our virtual celebration committee.
Thanks for everybody for coming out and being a part of this year's Walk a Mile. You know, I believe that we had success. We had some new faces there. We had some new interests. So we're reaching a broader community. Unfortunately, due to COVID, it wasn't as, you know, available to everybody as we wish it could be. But, you know, there's always 2021. You know, hopefully 2021 will be able to do a little bit more with the sponsorships. This year, it seemed like there was a lot of people that were just in need themselves and had expended a lot of money due to COVID responsibilities. So hopefully 2021 will be a better year, but, you know, I'm happy that we did what we got this year. So thank you to everybody for all your efforts and everything that was put forth to make it successful.
Mike, thank you. Thank you so much for that and for all of your support as co-chair. And I neglected to say this earlier. I want to give special thanks to Dutchess County Parks who gave us permission to have our walk on the rail trail. We were looking long and hard for a location, and they really came through by allowing us to have the walk on the trail. So it was still a gorgeous day. And certainly it was really
join the meeting.
To see so many people join us last Saturday, you know, new walkers as well as teams that had walked a mile with us before. You know, our elected officials came out. It was wonderful to see so many, as well as folks who are running for office as well. And, you know, one thing that's for sure is that our needs in sexual assault and domestic violence is something that we can all agree on. The community really comes together around this. So we're just so grateful for everybody who came out this past Saturday. But to share his thoughts, I want to turn our virtual mic over to our other event co-chair, Corey Whitted. Corey, again, those red boots whew, every year. My feet hurt just watching you walk in them. So I'm going to turn. I'm going to turn the virtual mic over to you, Corey.
Yeah, I would just like to say thank you, just like Mike did. We had a lot of meetings planning about this, and obviously it's not an easy year to do any event. But overall, you know, I look back, I've been involved with this for 4 years now, and I remember Mike Davis's first call to me and said, "You need to make a donation." And I gave him $50, and Mike Davis's typical format said, "You probably should add another 0 to that." So from that day on, I've been involved, and each year I try to get more involved, and I get my kids involved. And, you know, now my kids are getting a little older and I get to know their friends. It's important for me to know that, you know, my kids are going to be raised with the awareness of all this domestic and child abuse and gender violence. But I want them to be able to teach their friends about it. And that's really why I'm involved, because I want them to understand that the community is here to help them and not to be scared of it. So I do appreciate everyone that came out to walk, and the ones that are still walking. It's very important for us to know that, you know, it may not have been your cup of tea to go to the walk that day, but you can still walk virtually and send your photos and your pictures and your videos over to us. And we appreciate the support that way too. So thank you very much, and look forward to 2021.
Awesome, Corey. Thank you. And while you were talking, I was sharing some photos from the at-home walk option, and people really got creative this year. So whether people were walking a mile kind of along the beautiful Hudson River, or some people on this call actually rode their mile or 10. And some of our board members and previous board members actually biked their Walk a Mile support, and I think they did 25 miles in honor of Walk a Mile. So however people did their at-home walks, we were just so grateful that they shared their stories with us. And even though we couldn't all be together, you know, the Walk a Mile spirit was really strong this year. Something that was super fun that is not yet done is this year we had our first Walk a Mile online auction, and you all know, you've heard me say this, whether it's the event or through Constant Contact, that every dollar we raise through the auction goes the same place that our Walk a Mile funds go, and that's to support the services here at Family Services. So we have had quite a lot of fun with this, quite a number of bidding wars on a couple really cool things. So I wanted to let folks know that we did add a few more new items this week. So if your family likes zip lining and climbing adventures, then they might like what's on the auction at Barton Orchards, a treetop adventure package. We have college planning sessions on there. We have artwork that was specially created by one of our local artists who's also a Family Services staff person. And of course, if you like ice skating, we've got something for you in the auction. We even have river tubing. When the weather warms up again, all of those things are actually still open on the auction with no bids. Can you believe that? So log on. You have 3 more days, and the auction does not close until Sunday. So you want to get the bids in before your time passes. Okay. And I think my colleagues Pat and Kate hopefully are sharing the link to the auction there in the chat to make it really, really easy for you to bid your support. But as I see that my friends the Van Dodiks have hopped on, I'm going to invite you to not keep outbidding me on the maple syrup. Just leave the maple syrup alone. It's mine. So just joking, of course. Okay, but many of us are actually. I missed that. Oh, yeah, there you are. I knew you were here, Jason. And actually, your timing is really good because I know many of you were on because you were, the most exciting part of Walk a Mile is not just walking for survivors. Of course, that's awesome, and we love to do that. It's the best part of Walk a Mile. A little spirit of competition is not so bad either, and we love to give out prizes every year. And this year we've got some fun ones. So I wanted to announce the most money raised by an individual, and this is my virtual drum roll. Da, 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 da. Jason, you were right on time. Yay!
Thank you.
So Jamie and Jason Van Dodik, they rock every year, of course, as do all of our Walk a Mile supporters. And Jamie and Jason this year raised $4,395 for Walk a Mile. And we are so grateful all the time, every year, for their time and for their support. And the Van Dodik team is actually going to win a gift certificate to Pastry Garden, to Stewart Shops, and I highly recommend that you use them both for cake and ice cream. But you can enjoy whatever you like with those. So congratulations, Jamie and Jason.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
And if you notice in the picture here, Jason also rocks a pretty awesome pair of heels for Walk a Mile. One of our favorite parts every year is seeing what shoes he's going to bring this year. Okay. Next up on our list of prizes, this year team, everybody was really hard at work, trying to raise as much money as they could to support the work of Family Services. And there were actually a number of teams that raised over $2,000, which is amazing. But there's one team that actually raised more than $5,000, and that team is Team Backstars. They raised $5,335 this year. And I have to say, Backstars, they probably had the biggest team showing at our Walk a Mile event on Saturday. And what was so moving is there were so many kids, so many youth who were walking and proudly holding those signs. So Mike, team captain of Backstars, thank you for all you do to rally your team every year, and congratulations. More than $5,000 is pretty awesome. So thank you, Mike. Yay!
Thank you.
And Mike's son is the one on the end holding Backstars. How many years has he been walking now, Mike?
I think this is 5, right?
Yeah, love it.
Or
love it.
It
Every
might
year.
5 or 6. It's one of the. It's either 5 or 6. But listen, it's a great event. I love it. And honestly, I forgot to thank like some of the most important people for this walk. And Whitney, that's you. That's Pat. That's Kate. I mean, you guys really put in a huge effort. And if it wasn't for you three, this thing just would not go off without a hitch like it does. So thank you to the three of you as well.
Oh, Mike, that's so sweet, but it happens with good leadership with you and Corey. You keep the motivation going, you know? So it's a team effort for sure. Yes. Okay. So our next prize, this year's pandemic actually gave us an opportunity to have a new award. And we love things like that. And this year was the most creative kind of at-home individual walk photo or video. And the winner is, oh, I love the baby helping us share the winner. Kate, you're making my day. Jamie Rublick, woohoo! So Jamie, yay! Jamie and her family, of course, took their Walk a Mile signs and had a family walk along the Hudson River, gorgeous. Listen, if they were not able to walk with us on the rail trail, they picked the second best spot, I believe. So Jamie, thank you so much for yours and your family's support and for doing your individual walk this year. We're just so grateful that you joined us. We're so grateful you joined in the fun. And again, you get Pastry Garden and Stewart's. And while you can get whatever you want, I encourage cake and ice cream. Okay, every year, this is a tough one. Walk a Mile invites us all to wear the shoes of the person that we're walking for. For me, I walk for my daughter, so thankfully that means very comfortable and sparkling boots. But for many of our walkers, that often means high heels. And the competition is tough because so many of you have incredible shoes. But this year's award for best shoes goes to, da-da-da, virtual drum roll again, Nikki D'Antonio. So Nikki, I don't know if Nikki was able to join us, but Nikki has been a faithful Walk a Mile walker. I think this was their second or third year joining us. So we were just so excited that Nikki was able to come out, be part of our on-site walk this past Saturday, and are just grateful for the support that they and their team bring to Walk a Mile each and every year. So Nikki, if you're on, It was great to see you. And we're looking forward to seeing you next year too. Okay, so sexual assault, domestic violence, it touches so many of us. We know that. And so many of our friends, family, colleagues, and neighbors want to work with us to help end the violence. So this year, we actually wanted to give an award that we didn't announce, we didn't make public, to recognize those folks who had the most unique donors. Sometimes it's just a matter of asking all of our friends and all of our family, and each of those donations makes such a difference. And so we really wanted to highlight a couple folks who had the most unique donors, and it was a tie with 29. So again, for their individual walking pages, each of these individuals had 29 donations, and that's just incredible. So I want to say congratulations to Kate Rodriguez, who was here with her little one. Yay, Kate. And Pat De Jesus. Both Kate and Pat, 29 donations, that is awesome. So congratulations, Kate and Pat. We're so grateful for all you did to help us share information about Walk a Mile and to garner community support. And again, you're going to receive certificates to Stewart's, and you could use it for gas, you could use it for groceries. I recommend ice cream. Okay. One of the big moments that we have is that we want to share how much money we have raised this year with Walk a Mile. And so I am very, very, very happy to say that as of this evening, we have raised $58,496, right? I love it. It definitely deserves claps. So with your support, we can provide 24-hour hotline support for victims of sexual assault and domestic violence. We can accompany victims to the hospital and police station and court. Your support provides therapy for children who witness violence and families who are coping with trauma. It helps us create safer communities and increase victim safety through our work with offenders. And we're preventing violence in the first place through our education throughout the Hudson Valley. So all of us together are just creating stronger, safer communities. And I want to say special thanks to everybody who joined us on the virtual celebration tonight, because you're a huge part of why we have raised almost $60,000. And I do want to share that does not include our auction income. So all that we raise through the auction is going to make that total go even higher. So thank you all for that incredible support. Yes, yes.
That total is higher. I just looked at a refresh of the page, and it's up to 58,579.
Oh my goodness, fantastic. So what is that? In the last half an hour, we've had more come in for Walk a Mile. So that is incredible. Thank you, Pat, for sharing that. That's wonderful. Awesome. These pages are actually still up for the next month, really. So if you have outstanding donations, or folks said, I'm going to donate and they just haven't, your first giving pages are still up for quite a while, and they will go to support Walk a Mile, even if it's made after today. So really, we promised brevity, we promised half an hour, and we are at 5:28, and we deliver with Walk a Mile. So on behalf of Family Services, our staff, our leadership, our board, our Walk a Mile committee, and the 19,000 clients we serve every year, just want to say a special thanks to all of you for your support of Walk a Mile and for taking time out of your very, very, very busy schedules to join our virtual celebration this evening. I know we ran through these photos really fast, and if you didn't get a chance to take them all in, don't worry. You can visit our Walk a Mile Facebook page. Kate has uploaded them there. They are there to see, and we're going to be sharing a recording of the celebration there as well this evening if you want to watch it again. But really, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you. We really hope that we see you at Walk a Mile in 2021. Fingers crossed, we will be 350 plus strong when we're walking together again next year. But you all made this event this year what it was, and we just really very much appreciate your support. So thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for coming out this evening, and we are just so grateful for you. And shamelessly, one last plug for the online auction. So before you get off your computer, hop on over to the auction site. These could be yours. Thanks for coming out, everyone. We really appreciate it.
Good night.
Night, Mike. Night, everyone.